Hello and welcome to Meet the Candidates for the August 5th, 2014 primary. I'm your host, Dan York. On today's program, candidates from select contested races that appear on the Garden City ballot have been invited to appear. Candidates were given 5 minutes to present their platforms. There were no restarts or retakes. Offices that are represented on today's show include Representative in Congress 13th District, State Representative 11th District, State Senator 5th District. Additional offices that are included on the August 5th ballot that are not represented on this program include the governor's race, the U.S. Senate, county executive, and county commissioner. Also on this ballot are 3 proposals, including a state proposal to replace the state use tax, a county millage for SMART, and a county millage proposal for the Wayne County Regional Education Service Agency. The complete ballot with all offices and proposals as it will appear in Garden City can be found at www.gardencitymi.org. Offices that have been invited to appear on this program include Representative in Congress 13th District. Jeff Gorman is running unopposed as a Republican, so he was not invited to appear on this program. Incumbent John Conyers is opposed by Horace Sheffield for the Democratic nomination. Only Mr. Sheffield accepted our invitation to appear on the program. For the State Senate, 5th District, Jennifer Reinicki is running unopposed as a Republican and was not invited to appear. For the Democratic nomination, David Kinetic, David Nathan, Carrie O'Connor, Thomas Stallworth, Frank Tomzik, and Chanel Jackson were all invited to appear on the program. Only Mr. Kinetic accepted our invitation to appear on the program. Running for the state legislature in the 11th District for the Republicans, David Lawrence Mahalab and Jim Rhodes. Both gentlemen have agreed to appear on the program. For the state representative in the state legislature in the 11th District for the Democratic Party, the candidates include Hilliard Hampton, Lisa Hicks Clayton, Julie Pojoaque, Patricia Scott, Ned Opinion, Rashid Beydoun, Deartris Coleman Richardson, and Dorothy Webb Grady. Mr. Hampton, Ms. Hicks Clayton, Ms. Pojoaque, Mr. Opinion, and Ms. Coleman Richardson appear on the program. Meet the candidates for the August 5th primary will be seen on GCTV July 18th through the 27th and August 1st through the 3rd at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 7 p.m., and 11 p.m. The program can also be seen on the GCTV YouTube site. For complete details on the ways to watch this program, go to www.gardencitymi.org/GCTV. Now let's begin our program with the congressional race and Democratic candidate Horace Sheffield.
Hello, my name is Horace Sheffield. I'm a candidate for Congress in the 13th Congressional District. I'm a Democrat. I was born and raised in Detroit, educated in the Detroit public schools as well as private schools. I was blessed to go to the Hall Divine Child Military Academy in Monroe, where I was educated by the IHM nuns. I went to Assumption High School in Windsor, where the Brazilian brothers taught me goodness, discipline, and said in that order. I also have a few college degrees, a master's in public administration from the University of Michigan, a master's in biblical studies from Ashland Theological Seminary. All of my life I've been raised to engage in some form of public service. I was always taught that the greatest gift that one has is what they can give to another, and that the true measure of a life is how much one gave, not how much one had. And I'm just concerned about the 13th District. I'm concerned because we have working poor and working class people who are going through the most miserable times imaginable. While this economy is soaring for the wealthy, the Dow Jones, by the way, hit another record over 17,000, yet still in many of the areas of Wayne County where the 13th District is, there are many people who are struggling, both of whom go to work. The parents go to work and they still can't afford to pay high insurance rates or whatever else might impinge upon their budgets. I think a congressperson has to be an active intercessor, a person who's not just concerned about global issues, not just concerned about war in Iraq or trying to lessen the federal budget deficit, but has to be there to intercede on behalf of citizens who have issues that need to be resolved, or someone to address them. I have to be there for local government, local municipalities, Melvindale, Garden City. All these cities are going through a variety of different things. I was just upstairs here and was told that there's one person left in each of those departments. Well, we've got a $1 billion plus budget surplus in Lansing, but it was born on the backs of municipalities like Garden City. It was born on the backs of cities like Melvindale. And I believe a congressperson has to pull all of those people together and do what's in the best interest of each local municipality. He's got to argue with the governor if necessary to make certain that whatever is needed for that city to run well, that they have it. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the quality of life in the 13th district. We have someone who's been there 50 years, and all he can say is, I want to go back because I can become the first African-American dean of Congress. Well, I'm not excited about being first if everyone else around me is still going to be last. I celebrate the diversity of the 13th district. I'm not going to Congress to be the first African-American. I'm going there because the people of the 13th district need a voice. They need someone who's going to speak up for them, who's going to represent them, who's going to argue on their behalf, who's going to get things done, who's going to get additional money for the school districts, who's going to put more police on the streets. These are the things that we do in Washington. Yeah, we're responsible for making certain that the president does his job, or if we go to war, that it's done appropriately. But most important, what I do in Washington, if you elect me, is to make certain that what happens here at home for everyday working class, everyday working poor individuals is in their favor. I want you to vote for me. I promise. I've been to all the city council meetings. I'm going to keep coming. I'm going to be an active intercessor. You won't have to find me. I won't be out listening to jazz or giving other folks jazz. I'll be actually working on your behalf. If you'd like to help me, you can dial 313-491-0222 is my campaign headquarters, 313-491-0222. And I also want you to go to my website, www.betterwithsheffield, www.betterwithsheffield. Look, it's time for a change. We can do better. I want to help us do better. Don't keep sending the same people back and expecting something different and get the same thing. Here's your opportunity to have something better, something different, and something that all of us need. And that's me representing you the way a congressperson should do. Thank you. Vote Tuesday, August 5th. Sheffield for Congress.
Hi, I'm State Representative David Kinetic. I currently represent the community of Garden City in the Michigan House of Representatives. Due to redistricting and term limits, I am running for the Michigan State Senate this year to replace State Senator Glenn Anderson. And it was actually about a year ago this time that I was first approached by Garden City residents who said, you know, David, we see you in the community. We like the issues that you're advocating for. You know, would you think about stepping up to the plate and replacing Senator Anderson? And so a year later, here we are, and it's really kind of hard to find the words to say thank you and to express my gratitude to the community here. I'm a Dearborn Heights guy, but Garden City has been so welcoming and so supportive of me over these last few years. I've really enjoyed my time, whether it's at the Maplewood Center, at the Garden Walk, at a city council meeting, just getting to know and getting involved here in the community in a really hands-on sort of way. And again, advocating for the issues that you all care about most. And if I can talk about the issues for a little bit, I don't like to be one of these guys that just runs on the fluff. I think there's very important issues that we're facing right now in Michigan, 4 of which I tend to focus all of my votes and my time and effort on in Lansing. Those are students, seniors, working families, and veterans. And so in order to understand where we're going, I think we need to stop and take a step back to see where we've been. Now, if you're a student in Michigan right now, you're suffering from a $2 billion cut to public education. Teachers are trying to do more and more with less and less in the classroom. Our test grades and our test scores are dropping, and Michigan is failing to make the necessary investments that we need to prepare our students for college readiness or career readiness. And I think it's important that we understand that our kids need to be prepared for both. I'm a member of the Education Committee, and I've maintained my pledge and my commitment to Michigan's children that if we're not fighting for them each and every day, we're doing significant damage to our future. And so working hard on behalf of our children and working hard on behalf of a strong public education system is, again, one of my highest priorities as your next state senator. Secondly, for seniors, we've got a big problem that we have right now in Michigan as it relates to Michigan seniors. The first being the brand new pension tax that was enacted under Governor Snyder. If you've worked your whole life to make Michigan a better place to live, work, raise a family, and worship, I think we should just get off your backs. And what we've seen right now is this retroactive tax is going back and is taking money out of the pockets of seniors who are living on a fixed income. Secondly, we need to restore the homestead property tax credit to its full value. This is the tax credit that a lot of our seniors were using to pay their summer and their winter taxes. We need to restore the earned income tax credit, a credit that even President Reagan called the best anti-poverty tool in the history of our country. And again, fighting for additional revenue sharing so that we can keep our senior centers open and our other recreational and cultural opportunities available to everyone remains a priority for me. If you're a middle-class family right now, you've seen the brakes go to everybody at the top while the little guy gets left behind. To me, that's unacceptable. The middle class built this country by putting more money in your pockets to invest in our economy. That's how we're going to create jobs. That's how we're going to make the Michigan of the 21st century. And then finally, with veterans. I know a lot of folks here in Garden City know that veterans issues are one of my largest and biggest concerns, being a veteran myself, having served in the Marine Corps for 6 years and 2 tours of duty in Iraq. We've got the 11th largest veterans population in Michigan right now, and we are near the very bottom as it relates to veterans' access to benefits. That's absolutely unacceptable. In my time as co-chair of the Veterans Task Force, I put together a set of proposals that I believe can move Michigan in the right direction. That includes a veterans home here in southeastern Michigan. We've got one in Grand Rapids, we've got one up in Marquette, but down here in southeastern Michigan, with the largest concentration of veterans in the whole state, we don't have the resources that we need. I put together the plan that would allow veterans to come home, transition to college. I voted on bills that would allow our veterans to take the skills that they learned in the military and immediately transition those to their life here at home, as well as bills that would create incentives to hire veterans when they're coming out of the military and protecting those veterans that suffer from post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury as they seek to get the medical treatment they need. On August 5th, I am asking for your support and your vote. I've got a lot more that I want to do here, not for the residents of Garden City, but with the residents of Garden City. I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for you to stand with me. And again, if I can be of service to you or your loved ones in any way possible, please give me a call. My phone number is 313-451-4586, and my office number in Lansing is 517-373-0849. Thanks so much. Again, it's an opportunity that I don't take lightly to be able to serve you all in Lansing and here at home. Thanks so much for your time, and thanks for your support.
Hello, good morning, afternoon, and evening, voters and Observer and Centric newspaper readers. I am David Lawrence Mahalab, a retired Detroit police sergeant, and I need your vote to be your representative in Lansing for the 11th District. I am the best Ukrainian and Armenian candidate you will ever vote for, and I need your vote. I am a graduate of Fordson High School, Henry Ford Community College, and the University of Michigan Dearborn, and I proudly wear my M pin. I have been a freelance photographer since my high school days at Fordson, and you may have seen my photographs in your local newspapers, the Press and Guide, Observer Eccentric newspapers, the Detroit News and the Detroit Free Press, and in magazines and newspapers around the country. I have been seen on Let It Rip, on Fox 2 Detroit, and I co-hosted a radio talk show called Cop Talk on WJR with Kevin Joyce. I am quoted on TV, radio, and newspapers, generally about police-related issues. You may have seen me recently on Channel 2, 4, or 7 on July 5th and 6th speaking about a man in Detroit who died in a fireworks accident. And I spoke on why I'm opposed to dangerous and powerful fireworks that have disturbed our neighborhoods and have caused death and injury to Michigan residents. If you are tired of powerful fireworks disturbing your peace and quiet, vote for me. I speak the truth, and because I put my name with my words. That's why TV, radio, and newspapers contact me and use me. I am an opinionated person, so I will not be intimidated by special interest groups and organizations, lobbyists, and their money. I will do what is right for you and Michigan. I have the time and desire to serve you and to be your voice in Lansing. I am tired of business as usual. I will go to Lansing to shake things up, to speak up and speak out, to get the legislature moving to fix the problems that we have, not to take vacations and campaign breaks. I am a senior. I have lost my health care benefits and I'm paying for them out of my pension check. That Michigan is taxing, and it is wrong. There should be no taxes on senior citizen pensions. I will be an advocate for women's rights on abortion, on equal pay, and equal opportunity. I will fight against the war on women. I will support gay rights, gay marriage, and their benefits and rights. I will work to fix the roads and hold asphalt and construction road building companies accountable. If they build a bad road, they will pay to fix it, not you as a Michigan taxpayer. I will not allow special interest groups to tell us what laws to pass and which laws not to pass. No money can buy me. We need jobs. We need the International Trade Crossing Bridge. We must begin construction before winter. The Ambassador Bridge is 85 years old. We cannot depend on one bridge. We need to create jobs, protect our jobs, and the economy. And Matty Maroon's money should be of no good in Lansing. I will go to Lansing as your representative to get the money for the needed U.S. Customs Plaza. We need better schools, and we need a clear policy on improving schools and education. I favor a 365-day school year and a K-8 second language requirement. Michigan and the United States are falling behind China and other countries in educating our children. This has to stop. We need Michigan children to be the best educated children in the world. I will be available to you. You can talk to me about your needs and concerns as a resident and a taxpayer of Michigan. You can contact me, David Mahalab, 7750 at AOL.com. I am on Facebook, David Mahalab. Please Google me and learn about me, because the more you know about me, the more you will want to vote for me and work with me to shake up Lansing, to bring exciting new bloods into the legislative system that has gotten old and stagnant and unresponsive to our needs. Remember, David Lawrence Mahalab, August 5th, or you can vote absentee ballot now. Just do it.
Hello, I'm Jim Rhodes, and I'm asking, as a longtime resident and taxpayer in Garden City, for your support to send me to Lansing to be your next state representative. I believe that my business, professional, and especially my legislative experience will give me a distinct advantage in making your voice heard at the Capitol. As far as my personal background, I've been a lifelong resident of Garden City. I'm married to Judy. We have two wonderful children, adult children, who both graduated from the Garden City school system. I myself attended Garden City schools and graduated from Garden City West. I most recently served on the Planning Commission here in Garden City for over 12 years. I'm a certified motorcycle safety coach/instructor for the Motorcycle Safety Foundation, teaching at Radcliffe Center along with many of the community colleges in the Wayne County area. I'm a precinct delegate and have been so for over 15 years. I presently own and manage a small construction business doing remodeling and high-end work, and that's been going for over 20 years. Prior to that, I was the general manager of product design and purchasing for a Detroit-based company, designing tools that actually can be purchased to allow a person to make a living. and own his own business. My other experiences in building and in business are related to designing for a Detroit-based filtration system and working as the purchasing manager for a waste management corporation. My professional and legislative activity include being the director for legislative director for a motorcycle organization. For an advocacy group, I have directed and coordinated legislation both in Lansing and in D.C. I've passed several noteworthy pieces of legislation in both D.C. and Lansing. I've written legislation, testified at dozens of public hearings and committee hearings. I've worked with both parties, both in D.C. and in Lansing. I've worked walk legislation through the system and work closely with both parties. Presently, I serve on the Governor's Traffic Safety Advisory Committee for Motorcycle Safety. I'm a founding member and past president of ABATE of Michigan and a founding member and board member of the Motorcycle Riders Foundation in Washington, D.C. My legislative priorities are pretty simple. I believe that roads is number one. Develop and promote long-term programs for construction and maintenance of our roads that keeps all the financing focused on the roads and not going to other groups and other projects that don't directly relate to this end. Tourism is one of the top businesses in Michigan, yet that can't be promoted without having good roads. Education. The financing and promotion of our schools is a top priority. I'm very concerned about the direction of the Common Core curriculum that is going to be taking our children into the next couple of decades. As far as seniors, I'd like to eliminate the recent pension tax increase for seniors, as I see it as an excess burden on people with a fixed income. I've always looked at the legislative process from the perspective of seeing unintended consequences of legislation that is enacted, and I have actually recommended to legislators that a coalition of both legislators and the private sector be formed to more closely examine potential unintended consequences prior to legislation being enacted. As a successful business owner and legislative activist, I solve problems. I work with all parties involved and concerned to achieve stated goals. I ask for your support to be your next state representative. Thank you for your interest. My name is Jim Rhodes, and you can reach me by email at rhodesforrep@yahoo.com. That's RHOADESFORREP@yahoo.com. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Hilliard Hampton. I'm here to ask for your vote for state representative for the 11th district. Who is Hilliard Hampton? Well, my life has been defined by public service. My bride, Marcella, a public school teacher, and I have been married for 35 years, and we have 3 children. I graduated from Wayne State University with a degree in communication. I'm a retired command officer from the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. My career started with the airport police. I went on to the Circuit Court Processing Unit. Along the way, I served in the Warrant Enforcement Bureau, where I apprehended felony fugitives, as well as served on Special Task Force and apprehension sweeps in this city, as well as Inkster, Garden City, and Westland. Educated in Wayne State, and I also am a lecturer at Wayne County Community College. Former substitute teacher as well. A small business owner, Hampton Security Group. Some of my clients included Romulus Schools, Wayne Westland. I also dispatched some officers to New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina and Rita, and provided security for the 2006 Super Bowl in Detroit. 26 years as an elected official, school board, city council, mayor, city of Inkster. And I've had some successes. Inkster Town Hall Center, Western Wayne Family Health Care Development. I ushered in 3 housing developments, market rate housing developments. I'm very proud of that. Also, just recently was able to start the first phase of a walking path in the Lower Rouge Park. I represent Wayne County on SIMCOG. SIMCOG is a regional council of government, which is a pass-through agency for federal dollars. They're accountable to local government. That is why I am proud to be their selection for the Tubman Foundation Fellowship. Out of a rigid application process and screening, I was one of 2 that was nominated to attend Harvard University for a 3-week executive training and leadership program. I also serve on the EPA Clean Water Advisory Board, where we make recommendations to the EPA. I also serve on Starfish Family Services, an early provider of childhood education. They serve 10,000 at-risk children and also that many families every year, $20 million budget. I also was the general contractor for Habitat for Humanity Western Wayne. So we built new homes and also rehabbed homes, even here in Garden City. Also the past vice chair of the Inkster Democratic Club. Why am I running for state rep? Well, I think there's a disconnection with Lansing and local communities. Certainly, we do the best we can at the local level, but we need help from Lansing. When Lansing decides to take away revenue sharing dollars from cities, cities suffer. They cannot deliver the level of service delivery that they would like. Schools suffer. Per pupil funding has been cut. So public schools aren't able to educate our children in a way that we would like, nor the way that we were when we were in public schools. And I think that is a disservice to a community. A vibrant educational system is important to the quality of life in our community. We need to reinvest in healthy and growing local cities and neighborhoods and in children. And also seniors. I would work to protect seniors, and also the fact that they're taxed. Their pensions are being taxed. I will fight to repeal that, and also initiate a bill that would indicate that at some point you should be all in with your taxes. Our seniors are living longer, and we need to help seniors get through the difficult times and not tax them out of their homes. Quality education, seniors are the issues that I will champion. I have done a lot in my life, but public service has given me the most reward. I look forward to serving you as the next representative for the 11th District, and I ask for your vote, and please vote. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Lisa Hicks Clayton. I have served our communities the last 26 years as an educator, community leader, public servant, and an elected official. I have represented our families in Lansing on issues that are important to our families, including public education, veterans issues, elderly issues and healthcare issues, as well as disability issues. And now I'm running to be our next state representative. As an educator, I have worked within our school districts. I am familiar with the day-to-day challenges facing our schools and within the classrooms. Though I do not support tax increases, I do support rechanneling of our existing revenue to meet the needs and challenges that our schools face every day. I support equal state per pupil resources distribution, which creates quality education opportunities for all students and a reduction in existing funding gaps. Investment in our youth and our education system is an investment in our nation. Such an investment supports our democracy and compassion for all people. Economic development is on the minds of all people and most of you, especially the redevelopment of our business corridors and our downtown areas. Garden City has a wonderful Downtown Development Authority, the DDA. We've seen many benefits of the DDA, and I support these types of programs. I support revitalization programs and projects, promoting new businesses, and I also support anti-blight programs and green infrastructure, which add values to our properties. These programs encourage home ownership, retaining our current homeowner base, as well as attracting new home ownership. Creating places for people to work, learn, live, and play, and adding value to our communities. This will attract jobs as well as new businesses. In addition, I am an active member of Southeast Michigan Council of Governments and Michigan Municipal League, serving on several task forces bringing resources to our communities. These resources, including the Region Transit Authority, connects our communities and will meet the needs of our future generations, building a better Michigan. As a mother of a veteran and a wife of a veteran, I truly appreciate and understand the need to sponsor and support legislation for veterans programs and assistance. I support veterans' access to care choice. As a member of the Wayne County Community Action Team, we work together to bring these resources forward to our veterans. As your state representative, I will work to make these programs available to all veterans. Failing our veterans is not an option. I am not a career politician who has lost touch with everyday needs and concerns of our day-to-day people. My work as an educator, public servant, community leader, and elected official, I'm a Kiwanis member, church member, neighborhood watch coordinator, parent group volunteer and organizer. I'm a friend, a neighbor, and a mother. It has given me a unique perspective on the pains and challenges you face, we all face. If elected, I resolve to serve you. I resolve to represent our communities and our residents. I will make sure your issues and your concerns are fully addressed at all levels of government. My name is Lisa Hicks Clayton, and I would appreciate your support as your next state representative. I may be reached at 313-633-1845. Or I do have a website if you would like to visit, which is www.LisaHicksClayton, LisaHicksClayton, for state rep at Ruckus, RUCKUS.com. And I thank you and encourage you to vote August 5th.
Hello, friends in Garden City. My name is Julie Pojoaque, and I'm running as a Democrat for state representative. I grew up in Warren, Michigan, and attended Warren Public Schools through high school. I earned my bachelor's degree in medical technology from Oakland University and my teaching certificate from the University of Michigan Dearborn. I moved to Dearborn Heights with my husband Mark 20 years ago, and we've lived in the city ever since. By now, I've knocked on most of your doors or sent you a card in the mail describing my background, political views, and some of my endorsements. So rather than repeat any more of the information listed there, I thought I'd take this chance to explain why I decided to run for this office in the first place. For the last decade, I've taught middle school math, science, and religion at St. Robert Bellarmine in Redford. Over this time, I've had the opportunity to positively influence the lives of hundreds of students and watch them go on to thrive in high schools throughout the area. I also have 3 children of my own, whom my husband and I have raised in this district over the past 20 years. With their youngest graduating from Divine Child High School this past year, all 3 of our daughters will be in college in the fall, 2 at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor and 1 at Yale University. Though I've watched my 8th graders graduate every year, this year brought a special level of reflection. I constantly questioned what the state of Michigan has to offer my students after they leave St. Robert's, what kind of a district my daughters will return to after college, and what future generations of citizens will think of our elected officials' choices today. The answers I returned to were ones of frustration, that so many pressing issues are being left untouched. Now, after walking nearly every street of Garden City, I know many residents feel the same way. We are frustrated by cuts to funding for education, which leaves the schools with the most need in the most trouble. State budgets have been balanced, but only at the expense of cities that can no longer provide adequate services like law enforcement and emergency services for their residents. We can't understand why legislators still have not fulfilled their promise to fix our roads when Michigan citizens unanimously agree it is necessary. And so, even though it has meant putting my career as an educator on hold, I am extremely motivated not only by frustration, but also by hope to represent this district and work for the changes that our children really deserve. They deserve to drive on roads that won't pop their tires and to drive on bridges that aren't close to collapse. They deserve to have the same access to high-quality education regardless of the affluence of their community. They deserve to emerge from college without being $30,000 in debt. Teachers deserve to be helped rather than penalized when their underfunded students don't meet an unfair standard for testing. Our children deserve the opportunity to live in a safe, healthy environment and earn decent wages working in new sectors that my generation could only dream about. And when they are senior citizens, they deserve to keep the money that they've earned over the course of a lifetime. I am a teacher, not a politician, but right now a new voice is exactly what Lansing needs to hear. This community needs to be represented by someone who shares their perspective on the issues. I'm very thankful to the number of elected officials and community leaders who recognize this and have offered me their endorsements. I'm especially grateful to the Michigan Association of Police Organizations, the Detroit Police Officers Association, and the Dearborn Heights Police Supervisors Association for their endorsement to my commitment to public safety. I can't promise that I will fix our state overnight. What I can promise is to not take a vacation in order to avoid making tough decisions. I can promise that I will set aside partisan politics and work to compromise in an ever-polarized political climate. I can promise that I will look to the future and make decisions not based on short-term gains, but on what will make Michigan better for years to come. Please consider me on August 5th for state representative because we and our children deserve better. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ned Opinion, and I'm one of the candidates for state representative in the 11th District, which includes all of the city of Inkster, all of the city of Garden City, about 50% of Dearborn Heights, about 10% of Westland, and about 5% of Livonia. First of all, I'd like to thank the City of Garden City TV program for doing this program. I think it's extremely helpful, and I'm pleased that they allowed me to participate. Now, something about myself. I was born and raised in Niagara Falls, New York, graduate of a vocational technical high school in technical drafting, and that's probably how I ended up being an architect. However, when I finished high school in Niagara Falls, I joined the Marine Corps, and subsequently after the Marines, I moved to Michigan with the object of continuing my education. So, something about myself personally. I'm married next month 50 years to the same woman, and I was blessed with one daughter. And thank God my daughter blessed us with 4 granddaughters. And my daughter made up for my wife, thank God. Now, something about my education. As I said, I was a graduate from a vocational technical high school in New York, something I advocate for everyone. I earned my bachelor's degree in architecture from the University of Detroit, and after that I went night school, Wayne State University, and earned my master's degree in urban planning. Subsequently, I earned 2 associate degrees from the Henry Ford Community College, one in liberal arts and the other in science. Essentially, I did that not consecutively, a little bit before and a little bit after. I entertained myself by going to night school. Now, as I mentioned, I am licensed in 3 different professions or 3 different disciplines by the state of Michigan. So as a wrap-up, I have 4 university degrees, 3 licenses by the state of Michigan, and they are: I am a nationally certified architect called NCRB. I'm licensed by the state of Michigan as an architect and as a professional community planner, as well as a residential builder. Now, Some of the things we need to be concerned about is that I am already presently an elected official. I am in my third year of my second term on the City Council of the City of Dearborn Heights. Something about my ideas that I'm concerned about. Many of the surveys ask us, what are your three primary concerns and what would you be concerned about if you were elected as a state representative? My number one concern is the gerrymandering issue. My number two concern is the quality of education and how we do it. I'm an advocate of the European system, which if I have time remaining, I'll explain each one. The third one is taking as much public money, taking as much money out of campaigning as possible. Those are the three things of importance. The gerrymandering issue is the most important one in terms of democracy. It's not important which political party gains. Either we change the Constitution or we have the parties agree that we need to join political districts by adjacent counties and cities, and public money is the number one issue of trying to limit as much money as possible, shorten the campaign seasons. And the next most important thing is we need an educational system that's more like the Europeans, trade-oriented as well as scholastic. And I thank you very much for this opportunity to speak with you today. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Deartrice Colburn Richardson. I am a candidate for the District 11 State Representative. I am married. I have been married for 42 years. I have 2 beautiful children and 5 spoiled grandchildren. I am a retiree from the state of Michigan, and I have served as a council person. I have served on the Inkster School Board. I have served as a commissioner for the Zoning Board of Appeals. I was chairperson of the Inkster Task Force, of which we were awarded $625,000 to provide services to our citizens. I am chair of the Inkster High School Alumni Committee. We have provided over $60,000 in scholarships. I have given away over 1,200 pairs of shoes under our Samaritan Feet project. I served as chief steward and health and safety rep for the UAW. One day when I was walking in Kroger's, a senior approached me and she was very upset. She was upset that her water bill was more than her Social Security check. I felt comfort. I really felt bad for her. So I took it on myself to approach one of the council people and ask for help. He told me, Dee, your problem is you care too much. And he's absolutely right. I do care. I care that my school district was dissolved. I care that my pension is now lower because it has been cut by the state due to taxes. I care that our water bills are too high and the citizens are being shut off. I care that our roads are in horrible shape, but the first thing that they want to do is tax the citizens. Why can't we find other means of doing that first? Why can't we do tolls on highways? Or maybe we can have more policemen to do weight checks on trucks, and maybe even have a separate trucking route. I care that our schools are cut, the funding, and they are depriving our kids of a good education. I care that we don't have enough jobs or job training. I care there's too many foreclosures. I care. No one seems to care now about the citizens. Our leaders are now all into the titles or the money, and I am a grassroots person who truly care. I am asking for your vote on August the 5th. I would love to go up to Lansing and represent the people. In the best interest of the people, everything should be for the people, by the people. And I don't think that we should forget that as leaders of this great state of Michigan. Please vote for me, a grassroots person who believes in doing the right thing. Thank you.
That's Meet the Candidates for the August 5th, 2014 primary. Thank you very much for watching. And thanks to all of the candidates who appeared on the program. Again, a complete ballot, as it will appear in Garden City, can be found on the city's website at www.gardencitymi.org. That's www.gardencitymi.org. And don't forget, make sure you get out and vote on August 5th.